What's up, champ? Hope you're having a great day. So what do you do if you are feeling lost? If you're feeling lost and you don't really know where to navigate, how to get to that next level, if you're feeling that you reached a plateau, maybe you're even feeling that, because it goes both ways, right? Like most of the time when we feel stagnant, it's either because we reached a plateau and we are trying to go up, or we are on the way down emotionally, right? Feeling that we are okay, but we reached some type of bottom and now we want to get out of it, right? Because that's end of the day, that's all it is. The only thing that we want to do is that we want to live in a space of, in lack of other words and without sounding too much like a hippie, like you want to live in a place of harmony, right? Like that's what you want to do. You want to have your perfect balance. And exactly what we spoke about in previous videos. You want to find your perfect balance. But then when you're feeling lost, it's like, okay, but where do I go? How do I navigate from here? Which is quite confusing, right? Like a lot of my coaching students, whether that is in mindset and training or whether that is in business, a lot of them are feeling just that. It's like, I know I'm destined for more. Like I can feel it inside of me, but I don't really know what to do. But then the first thing to remember is that if you're feeling it inside of you, you are feeling it inside of you because you know that you're capable of, right? You know deep inside of you, your highest self knows deep inside of you that you are capable of doing so much more. And that's the only reason why you're feeling it, right? So how do you navigate? Okay, but let's say you have all of these options, right? Or maybe you don't have any options. So, and the first thing I always tell people is that you want to serve others. Because if you don't know where to go, the first thing to do is to serve others. I call it the big brother complex, which is something I know I have. Like I'm the oldest brother of four. I absolutely love being a big brother. Like there are very, very few things in life that can make me as happy as when my siblings come to me and ask for advice and I know I can guide them to make the right decision. It's not to influence them, but I want to guide them to make the right decision, right? Because I don't care what decision they make, I just want them to be happy, right? Whether that is in, whatever areas of their life. So if you have that, but let's say maybe you don't have siblings, right? But you still want to have that big brother complex or big sister complex. And then the question goes like, okay, but the question you should ask yourself is like, okay, but who can I serve? The question is, who did I need when I was at my lowest? Or who did I need when I was younger? Who did I need when I was at my lowest? Or who did I need when I was younger? And then single-aimly, I don't know if that's a word even, but let's go for that. You single-aimly aim towards that one thing and you shoot and just keep going towards that. Because what's going to end up happening is that you are going to do that so many times. Like who did I need as a kid? Like me personally, right? So as a kid, I needed a big brother that was secure, that respected women, that was well-spoken. I knew how to fight. That was something I really looked up to. I didn't know how to do in my younger days, so that was really important to me. Was sure of himself, stood on solid principles, and fucked like a truck. Like those things. That's exactly who I wanted to become. So what did I do? I became that guy, right? So you aim in who, like, this is the person that I want to be. This is the person that young Sebastian could talk to. Okay, but then I became that person and then I can guide others, right? During my lowest period, 14, 15, 16, around there, who did I need? I needed a coach that was highly empathic, also gave me tough love when I needed it, led by the front line, trained, danced, and was highly, highly aware of his emotional, of his mental discipline. So who did I become? I became that guy because I went through all of these things, because I went through years of panic anxiety, years of depression, years of wanting to end this, that makes me literally an expert in how to get out of that. Because you can talk to thousands of people, you can talk of thousands of therapists. I'm not saying that's bad, but unless they have gone through that journey alone, I'm not sure if how can they connect with me? How can they connect with me? How can somebody who never thrown a punch but read a lot about throwing punches help me? How is that possible? Now, you can flip that on the other hand and you say, hey, but you have NBA basketball coaches that won multiple championships that never touched the ball, right? Completely true, that also. But my point remains the same. You want to single-handedly aim at one thing, one mission. I'm going to become the person I needed as a kid. And then you shoot towards that. Because if you don't have that aim and you're shooting, that's when you're feeling lost. Because now you're just feeling that you're walking and walking. Because the thing is that you're going to evolve. You're going to constantly evolve during this journey towards becoming that person. So you're going to feel, hey, is this feeling right to me? Is this feeling wrong? Do I like the person I'm becoming? Does this feel good? Am I serving the right type of people? Because if you don't, the powerful thing is that you can just change. That's the beautiful thing with all of this. You are not married to your mission, because your mission could constantly changing, right? Like your purpose could be changing. But this is what you do when you're feeling completely lost. That's when you do this. Because the question that we started is like, okay, but let's say you're standing on a plateau and you don't know where to go, whether that is going up or you are standing on a plateau when you're moving down. You're feeling like, shit, I'm at the bottom. I'm dealing with the panic anxiety. I'm dealing with the depression. I'm in this pit. How do I get up? You aim at becoming the person that you needed as a kid or when you were at your lowest. Who do you need? An empathic person. You become that. Somebody that knows how to speak well and is verbally dangerous. You practice that. You practice it until you're becoming it. And don't do this faking until you're making, because that doesn't work. Because if you fake until you make, if you're faking it until you're making it, then when you have the opportunity to make it, you're not gonna make it because you haven't done the necessary preparation. Now, all of these things is very, very like step by step. Like it's a step by step process. Like you find out who you need. Then you map out the characteristics. So you know exactly the type of characteristics that person have. Virtuous, courageous, easygoing, brave. That might be the four things. Okay, now you have the characteristics. Okay, but what does a brave person do? Well, a brave person speaks his mind, even if it's uncomfortable. So then you write all of these things down. That's step 3. And then when you have an opportunity to practice all of this, like in day-to-day situations, then it's time for you to speak up, right? And then you speak up enough times so that you know that you're now that guy. Because when you've spoken up enough times, then you know, but hey, like, I'm brave, I'm courageous. Why? Because I speak up even if it's uncomfortable. And I know that that's a trait of mine. So then you do it, and you're doing it, and you're doing it, and you're doing it, and you're repeatedly doing it until now you become it. This, guys, is a roadmap with few steps for you to take if you're feeling lost, if you don't know where to go, if you're feeling that life is maybe not worth living, or at least it doesn't need to be that hurtful. It could also be just the fact that you might not know what is your proper next step. If you don't know what your right next step is, this is the roadmap. Get after it and let me know what you think in the comments. I'm new to YouTube, right? So you gotta like the video, please. You don't gotta do anything, but if you would like the video, I would highly appreciate it. If you could subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to pump up a bunch of these videos each week. And then if you could share it, it would be highly, highly appreciated, because that's literally how we grow this thing on YouTube. I'm new to YouTube, so if I'm messing it up, do what all the other YouTubers tell you to do, but you do the same thing on my channel. Please, ease out. Stay sharp.